What's going on, YouTube? Back again, just wanted to give you an update on the Ignite Artillery Ballista Chieftain I've been working on for League Start. Have it up to a level 90 now. It's feeling pretty good, and I think it'll continue to progress with some of the changes that I want to make, but I just want to kind of give you an update and let you know that so far I'm going to keep jamming on it. I've been trying a lot of different things out, what works best, all that kind of stuff. And there's a number of changes I still want to make yet, but early league, it's hard to get a hold of currency. So we're just trying to farm it up as best we can. We got a little bit of money here, a couple divines and some chaos and stuff like that. As of right now, we're gonna save up for Thread of Hope for right here, and then we can allocate bow attacks, fire an additional arrow here, another one here, and then we're still able to take primeval force, and then we can grab suppression and stuff like that. So this or aspect of the eagle, all of these are available. So large Thread of Hope right here is going to be really nice, and I think that'll be a huge damage increase. Accuracy is a little low right now. I was messing around with Herald of Ash versus Anger, and I've personally found that I think Herald of Ash, at least as of right now, I don't have it enlightened. Herald of Ash, Precision, Determination, and then on Arrogance we have Clarity and Vitality. That seems to be the best combo that I've found so far for kind of just being comfortable, damage, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to keep moving forward with that. The Herald of Ash, more burning damage is really nice. So yeah, that's where we are now, which is a little bit different than the way I had it originally. I was running Anger for a long time just to get some of that flat. But I got really lucky actually in one of the Tina's or Tiny's, whatever it is, trial thing in the Syndicate safe house, where you can basically, they just give you like a free craft with like chaos and all that, and it just hit this, which was pretty crazy. And this, obviously this isn't the final bow that I want, but it's got 4 modifier, 3 that we really like, and then the +1 to socket it is really nice. As of right now, I kind of talked about it in the first one. I was going to kind of decide later if I wanted to go with +1s or fizz convert, and right now I think the +1s is the way to go. So eventually I think on this I'd like to get +2 to socketed bow, and then either also +1 socketed and then fire, or the fire damage over time multiplier, the flat fire, and then +2 to bow, just because I don't necessarily care about the +1 to the supports. I really just want the +1 on the explosive arrow to get that flat fire damage. So that's kind of the plan for now. We are using Polaric Devastation just to cover enemies in Ash when we ignite them, and then we also get increased duration of ailments, and then fire resistance, which is really nice for our Ascendancy, where 50% of all fire resistance is applied to the others. And as of right now, we have an insane amount of elemental resistances, which I want the fire resist to be absolutely as high as possible. But some of these other things, I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but it's going to allow me. I still have cold here. I don't need that. That can be replaced. Lightning here. I don't need that. That can be replaced. So ideally, all of these ones that are not fire res are converted to chaos res. And so that's kind of the plan. Amulet, I bought this for pretty cheap, but it's halfway decent. I think I bought it for like 10 or 15 chaos. So we've got the fire, the flat fire, and then the +1 to all fire skill gems, and then fire res. So this will be replaced, but for now it's sufficient. It gives us some intelligence, which we need. And then we just have hard knocks on there, which gives us more intelligence. We're a little starved for that at the moment. We went in and bought Deity and Dawn. Let's see what these are going for now. It wasn't super yeah, see, 10C, so not bad. Polaric Devastation is more expensive. They're a divine and a half, so I think I've dropped 2 divine, and then I've dropped one of the jewels from Eater of Worlds or Searing. I think it was Searing Exarch, and then I sold that. So I've dropped 2 Raw Divine, so I've been pretty lucky up to this point. Up to level 90, dropping 2 is helpful. Um, Quiver, nothing crazy. Fire damage, attack speed, life, fire res, increased damage with bow skills. You know, again, this I'd like to replace this. You know, I'd like +1 arrow. Ideally on the increased damage with elemental skills, attack skills for the implicit. I forget the name of the quiver itself. Um, you know, we're working on more spell suppress and things like that. As you can see, these are not great items, and it's feeling pretty good so far. The bow is definitely my best item, along with Polaric Devastation. So, you know, as you can see, everything's pretty average. You know, we've got Chaos and Spell Suppress on there, nothing crazy. You know, this helm is whatever. Explosive arrow deals 25% increased damage. I think I bought that for like 5 or 10 C, and then just hit it with a couple essences that I had, and got lucky, you know, and got some intelligence and some life on there. So that was just kind of a lucky one. But obviously, as you can see, these are not great items, but they're holding up pretty well for now. Going into the tree, it's pretty similar to what I had planned. I'm pretty happy about that. Is my there's a couple changes, but for the most part, it's pretty close to what I had originally envisioned this being. With again later as we get into the, you know, the mid 90s or so, things might change a little bit more. And as we get precision, because I was originally, you know, not planning on using precision and all that kind of stuff, but you know, we're having a hard time getting accuracy right now until we can get it on our gear. But you know, having it on rings and things like that, it can be expensive, especially when there are other things I need a little bit more. So, but again, pretty standard. I'll put the POB in the description as is right now. If you watch my previous video, there's all the levels of, you know, I kept updating multiple POBs, so you can kind of see, oh, level 1 through 25, what was I doing? Level 25 through 50, or you know, whatever I was doing. So if you're interested in this, it'll kind of help you level up. So now, as you can see, all this is pretty similar. We're coming down, taking all the fire stuff, the armor, all the +1 to all max res, because we're, again, in softcore, we're not taking Velacos. In hardcore, if you're doing this, you may want to take this and maybe lose, um, you know, maybe Ramako or Hinakora, depending. Hinakora feels great, to be honest, for mapping. So this is probably my favorite node of the entire tree here. Recoup to damage, which is, you know, really nice in helping us with our sustain. Down here we have the regenerate 1 life per second for each uncapped fire resistance. So as you can see, you know, 250, so it's given us a pretty fair amount of life regen. I don't have much else in the tree, you know, I mean, we could take it here, but I haven't really taken much life regen. You got 1.6 here, so nothing crazy. So you're getting a lot of regen from this, and then again at half of their value being applied to cold and lightning. It's pretty easy to cap these out. As you can see, they're really crazy right now, and I need to shift some of this out of here into some damage or into some chaos. Ideally into chaos. I'm having a little bit of issue with chaos at the moment. That's all my deaths seem to be coming from that. So then again, we have reservation efficiency. One of the changes that I did make is I actually ended up taking this damaging ailments deal damage faster, and then we lost this farsight right here. So this felt better than this node here. So happy with that. This one you could go either one. I mean, maybe I've been thinking about the less damage taken over time, just to kind of mitigate some of the damage that I'm taking. And then, you know, we've got chance to suppress when you hit an enemy. Evasion, increased damage over time with bow skills, and damaging ailments deal damage faster. That right now feels really good. Damaging ailments deal damage faster. That's one of the ones that I noticeably can see the difference in. So I'm liking that. We come over here, we take some suppress, a little bit of life. The elemental node with these chance to ignite. We can probably shift these over pretty soon now. I think our chance to ignite's pretty good. So let's see, where are we? Chance to ignite 71. Okay, so we don't lose that yet. But when we have, you know, flammability and all that, you know, it's right about 100%. So And then lastly, the totems, we take both totem nodes so that we get those +2. And again, like I was saying earlier, the plan is large thread of hope here. We're going to lose this. We'll probably lose this. And then we'll come up here. We'll need the 3 points to get here. And then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I guess that would be it right there, right? So that's the plan. I think that'll be nice with some additional arrows. And then, yeah, so that's it for the tree. We went over the gear. Pantheon, we're still working on it, but we're using Soul of the Brine King just for the stun. I don't really have stun anywhere else. We might try to change that later, you know, if we start getting some jewels and stuff like that. And then physical damage reduction for each time you've been hit. Oh, excuse me. Tired. So yeah, that's that. So as of this, as at level 90, you know, we've gotten 2 of our void stones, Searing Exarch and Eater of Worlds. So now we need, you know, Elder, so Uber Elder, I guess is what that is, and then Maven. Both of which I think once I get there, I need a little bit more work, but I don't think there'll be a huge problem. The build feels pretty good. Survivability wise, it is nice, especially against bosses. You know, it was able to face tank a lot of the stuff in Eater and in Searing. So, and I'll throw some of those up on the screen so you can see a few clips and stuff. I'll let some of it run while I'm talking. But yeah, otherwise everything feels pretty good. Just some other things that I tried out. Well, here, this is the body armor that I'm working on now. It's got, you know, the rolls aren't the best ever, but it's got everything I need on it: life, dex, suppress, and then fire resistance, and then and just an insane amount of armor and evasion. So this is what we're working on now. Once we get this linked, this will feel really nice. And then we can replace this guy. We'll lose that chaos res, but it's all good. Some of the things that I tried, and maybe you guys can help me out. You might know the answer. Explosive arrow has 10% increased attack speed. I couldn't quite tell if this applies to the totems or not. I don't know the answer to that. I can do a little bit of research, but if you guys know the answer to that, please let me know in the comments. As far as jewels, these are some that I've been, you know, using and kind of going back and forth with. Just pretty standard. I needed dex and int, fire damage over time, multiplier, and life. Then up here we have this strength and dex, fire damage, life, mana on hit with attacks. And yeah, so that's about it, guys. And we're gonna see lastly with Thread of Hope, if depending on how that feels, if we like that, the last thing we might end up doing is essentially losing all of this here for a cluster. So I don't know yet. Like I said, I haven't wanted to invest in a cluster jewel yet because everything is feeling fine so far just with the tree and upgrading items and things like that. So yeah, and as far as, I guess I'll just tell you, so what I've been doing, if you guys are interested in for the Atlas, is we went into Syndicate because we want to get all of our crafts, Betrayal, whatever you want to call it. Expedition, we just kind of passed through here. We have more Betrayal here. And then Essence and Strongbox. So that's a big one. We've been doing a little bit of Abyss. Harbinger, which we'll stay in Harbinger the whole time, and Strongbox as well. Those are the ones that we'll eventually come off of Essence fairly soon. I think I'm going to come off of Betrayal because I have most of my crafts. I have my mana craft and all those sorts of things. So, and then Expedition obviously is great for early game currency. You just make so much money and so much just raw currency that it's hard not to do it early. Although it, you know, it starts, and this build's been great, especially with the explode. It just, you know, you explode whole packs at once, so it feels really nice. But yeah, and as of right now, we're working on the Eater Worlds. Honestly, Searing Exarch is probably better for early game currency, Val Orbs, Chaos Orbs, stuff like that. I just live to try to get the Divine Altar. So, it's one of my favorite things in the game, so it's really hard for me not to run it. But if you don't care about that, the chances of getting it are extremely rare. You know, I played a lot last league, and I think I got it like maybe 3 times, something like that. So it doesn't show up very often. And I ran thousands of maps. I dropped, 15, 16 apothecary cards, and I only saw 3 divine altars. So maybe that puts things in perspective of how much I played versus how rare they are. So either way, early game currency, if you really don't care about that, go red for sure. You'll make a lot more, sextants, val orbs, chaos orbs, all the kind of smaller currency that you use earlier in the league is you make way, way, way more of it on red. So yeah, guys, I guess that's it. I don't really have anything else. As you can see, we still have some work to do, but we've been doing most of our, corrupted T16 rares without a problem. We take deaths here and there, but I don't, I'm sure I failed one or two, due to mods or whatever. But for the most part, it's been pretty smooth sailing. I like the build. It's fun. It's pretty laid back, and especially like I said, now with Explode, it feels really good. So, and I think just the last thing, just do a quick recap of the gems. Explosive Arrow, Ignite Prolift, Deadly Ailments, Ballista Totem, Swift Affliction, and Elemental Damage with attack skills. I may end up switching this out for burning damage. So if you're on burning, I just don't like the less duration of damaging ailments. It's okay, but we'll see. So this might turn into burning damage. Helmet, summon Ice Golem, just for accuracy. Molten Shell, cast when damage taken, and then Flame Dash. In our body armor, we have Hex Touch, Flammability, GMP, Culling Strike, Frenzy, and Pierce. And this is just, again, to cull, to apply our Flammability. All of our damage mostly is coming from this. However, smaller packs on maps, this is enough to burn everything. So, again, not a damage dealer. This is more so that we can get, our bonuses of from Frenzy for more attack damage and more attack speed. Feels good. There may be something better here, but this feels good for now. Gloves, Clarity, Arrogance, Vitality, which we do not have on right now. This one it doesn't. I go back and forth. Sometimes I feel like it's worth having it and losing some of that life. Other times I don't. It's probably about the same. Whatever you guys want to do is fine. And then Enduring Cry, obviously that's not affected by these. That's just for some endurance charges. I was using Infernal Cry before I got Polaric Devastation so that I could now I'm covering all enemies in Ash. And again, Deity and Dawn, Boots, Determination, Herald of Ash, Precision. And then again, all these are pretty standard. The other options that you guys can use if you don't have Polaric Devastation is I originally started with Ngamahu, I don't know how to say it, Ngamahu's Sign. So this honestly felt really good. It's just this you get, because Ash also slows enemies and things like that, you get a little bit of defense out of it. So this felt good. Damage wise, honestly, Pyre felt fantastic. This felt really, really good. That increased burning damage, and this you can get for like 5C. This you can get for like 1 chaos. So if you don't have the money for this, I would recommend starting with one of these two. This one is a little bit better just early on because you get that recover 22 life when you ignite an enemy, so that just helps with survivability a bit. Once you have some survivability and some regen, Pyre's pretty nice. And then I think one of the last things, let's see, I did try out, where is it? Cinder Swallow. Felt alright. Onslaught was nice. Regenerate and recover life. They didn't seem super helpful with all the regen that I have. So as of right now, I feel better with the Sulfur Flask. Again, these rolls are not great. I have immunity to chill and freeze, and then immunity to poison. I want to re-roll these at some point. I just, haven't gotten around to it yet, working on other things. But these are fine for now. Res obviously gives us more life regen and things like that, and then free shock and ignite, why not? But more armor would be better here. movement speed, attack speed, things like that. So we'll focus on that, and then obviously the life flask, pretty standard, instant recovery and immunity to bleeding. So I think that's about it, guys. Quick update. So I guess it probably wasn't so quick, but definitely leave some comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking, if you guys are playing it, if you're enjoying it. I'll put the POB down in the description so you can just have that, and I'll just continue to work on it and hopefully do another update here in a few more levels once I get a few more items and I can replace, you know, some of these things, get some quality into my gems and all that kind of stuff. So thanks again. Appreciate you guys for watching and liking and subscribing. The growth on the channel has been great. I'm very pleased and very thankful for you all. So thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.